Hello and good evening. What is up, y'all? It is your Normie Sensei Master Cunt here with Normies Nerds. Where we take your Normies here in the dojo and turn them into nerds. Look, episode 7 of What If, honestly, to me, was not one of my favorites. But we'll get into that later. But the bigger thing that came out to me about this is that the possibility of a multiversal threat when we're looking at this Vision Ultron, like the finished vision, the completed vision. When we're looking at that, it's got me hyped for what's coming forward. But look, all in all, this episode was a straight up L. But we're gonna talk about that tonight. Also, as well, I want to get into a little bit of Vision's talk. Just a little bit of Vision's talk, but not too much because I haven't finished it. But just some of my first overall impressions of the series. You know what I mean? But anyway, before we get into that, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We are on the ground to 250 subs. And let me say what's up to the good folks who are in here already. And if you're watching this on the replay, say what's up in the comments. Let me know you're here. But Daniel Fisher, what's going on, bro? He says, release the boom. Mr. Ratcatcher 2, what is going on? And Trinity, what is poppin', bro? How is it going? Let me ask you guys. How did you all enjoy the movie? Do you think it was good? I mean, not the series, the episode. How did you all enjoy it? I'm gonna put this poll in here. Like for me, man, this episode might get like a 6 or a 5. And that's just like my guidelines, because man, like it was no seriousness. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna put this poll up here, and then we'll get into it. But nah, I give it like a 5. Maybe like a 5. And like even it's so much craziness is that the Ultron thing coming in kicks it. You know what I mean? So like here's what gets me is that the episodes that I didn't really like the most, Darth Chaos was going on. And I see you give it a 6.5. The episodes that I didn't like the most, like when I'm thinking about like episode 3 when the Avengers died, the episodes I didn't like the most seem to have a cliffhanger. That is what I would have rather seen, right? So when you're looking at the Avengers episode, they all died. I'm thinking about the end of that episode when you got Loki over top of the universe and you got Captain Marvel. That's something I would have rather seen. You know what I mean? Because maybe by then somebody from Asgard has a hammer and we can that fight there. But with this, and I know this music is probably really loud. Actually, let me change it up. But with this, it was like, when are we going to get to any interesting stuff? I was not interested in this episode at all. And I think that's what tears it down for me. I like Captain Marvel in this episode. See, to me, the Captain Marvel parts in this episode, Darth Chaos, were some of the better parts in this episode because then it felt like we were actually doing something. They wasted this whole episode on the party. And maybe it's just not me. Maybe I'm the party pooper. Am I the party pooper? Maybe that should be the thumbnail to this. Am I the party pooper? And I should have my face on there because right now, like, yo, this episode to me was such a downer. Bro, Sartar trying to holler at the Statue of Liberty had me dying. Now, yo, there was some good, funny little nods in there. But then, too, it was like, you for real? Like, okay, it's one thing. We got Thanos to change, right? We got Thanos to be good for the better. But to have Sartar out there with the crown on, like, now it's just a joke. To me, that's what this episode, until the last 5 minutes of the episode, to me, it was just a joke, bro. This episode was a joke. And not to joke, like Vito says, it was fun. It did have funny moments. But, like, I needed more fighting. Like, have some more fighting going on. So that's why, all in all, I give it like a 5.5-ish, maybe a 5. And to be real, man, Felicity, I wish Felicity was in here because she would be proud of me for that low-ass feedback number, right? But nah, it is what it is. Everyone was his friend, right? Everyone was cool with him. Like, bruh. At least let Party Thor f some stuff up some. You know what I mean? Look, we're gonna go ahead and get out here into the training grounds, and let's just go over some of this episode. Kind of get more in depth. So, like I said earlier, the Thor, Party Thor. One, it didn't make sense to me how Loki's death really made this Thor be that much of a dickhead. To me, if anything, Loki's death would have put Thor much on a more streamlined mindset of kicking butt and taking names. Like it should have had him more in the mindset of the first Thor rather than Loki. You know what I mean? Rather than on the first Thor, rather than just being out here being jokey, being out here being witty and all that stuff. So like that's one thing I really didn't like. I honestly didn't like the denseness of this Thor. Like he could have been a party Thor. He could have loved to have some fun, but not been such of a dickhead. You know what I mean? Like when it got to the part about him destroying worlds, he was like, "Did you really just like he's out here destroying worlds? He's kind of like a villain." Like Thor never took this episode seriously, and in that way, I never took this episode seriously. That's the thing. Not at one point in this episode did Thor take this episode seriously, and that's probably one big hit for me, man. I legit did a few times, but enough to redeem myself for it. Oh, okay, okay. I missed what you're saying during the comment. But yeah, I want to party, but look, I would love to party with Party Thor. Like that seems like a lit party. All drinks on Thor and all that good stuff. But, bruh, it just wasn't it for me, man. It just definitely just wasn't it for me. Another piece that really took me down. Another piece that really took me down. It's just Jane Foster. Like, bruh, she didn't have to be that head over heels. Like, they really dumbed down everything. Now, I like the nod when he was like, "You're a genius." It would have taken a team of us at Asgard to come up with this because you're a genius. But she just dumbed herself down for Thor. She just dumbed herself down for Thor. You could tell Thor was a good guy when he let Captain Marvel get up after putting the hammer on her. Ah, I still think she could have got out of there. I was waiting for the moment where Captain Marvel would just grab the hammer. You know what I mean? But look, the Captain Marvel scenes, I didn't screenshot her for some dumb reason. But the Captain Marvel scenes to me were the best scenes of this episode. Like all the scenes she was in, again, it brought the seriousness. At this point, we're at episode 7, bruh. We got 2 episodes left. I need some seriousness, man. Now, I know there's supposed to be allegedly a 10th episode in this season that got delayed. So maybe, this would have been like 3 episodes left. So they could have had this there. But it maybe would have been much better to have this episode be episode 5. Be episode 6. And bring us back to a more serious note with Killmonger for episode 7. Maybe that would have been the route to go. But like, the reason why Captain Marvel was my favorite part of this episode was the fact that she was having the serious moments with Thor. That's when it got real. That's when it got real. It made everything like come hard with it, bro. Because that final fight scene, like they were going hard, and it really felt like, damn, that the nukes was about to come down. Captain Marvel was about to just destroy him. So like, that's when that like got real. Look, Jane Foster contacted Heimdall. Like, those shits are real to me, bro. Those shits are real to me. That's what was serious, and that's what I would love to see more of. The fight scenes between Captain Marvel and Thor. I really enjoyed seeing those, especially that final fight scene. Like when she absorbed all the lightning. Like, I enjoyed those moments. I enjoyed those moments. And at the same time, I did have a moment and I was thinking, man, who is getting triggered by this right now? I actually said the only good parts of these episodes are the very last scenes. It's starting to feel that way, Proxy. It's starting to feel that way. That's what girls do. They don't want to be intimidating the person they like, right? They dumb themselves down, Vito. You might have a point. You might have a point. But yeah, and then also too the lack of action in this episode wasn't there for me. All right, so enough beating up the episode. I beat up this episode more than I probably beat up any MCU property. I was pretty hard on. I was pretty hard on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yo, so one thing that they kept true to in their What If series was the relationship ships that are in place. So even though Loki was not his adopted brother, Loki became a Frost Giant and was still cool with my man. He's still rocking the green, you know what I mean? And like he's still cool with Thor, like they're brothers. He said, "My brother from another mother." Like those moments, I still very much enjoy because it shows what no matter what these branches go off into, certain things are kind of constant, right? Like certain things are going to always happen. Uh, you're always going to have certain factors that come into play. And then Thor and Loki are cool. They call themselves brothers, but I'm pretty sure there's some mischievous, some mischievous things that could go down between them if Thor ever got serious. But it was cool to see this aspect of it. It's cool to see Giant Loki, right? To see the Frost Giant Loki. That was a different feel, but I was banging with it. I liked it. So that was cool. So that's like another good piece I liked about the episode. But man, my hang up on it is just the action, man. Like we just really had a lack of action this episode. Reef Man Reviews. He says decent episode, nothing great, a lot of fun. Yeah. Now Hank Pym effing up Big Fury's Fury's big week was awesome. Look, man, I could have had those Hank Pym scenes. I could have had those in like the first minute, and it would have made sense. They ain't have to go through this. I could have had the Hank Pym killing the Avengers in the first minute. Just montage that shit up. I ain't had to have no lead up. I ain't had to have no like mystery. Just show me it was Hank Pym. Show me he was doing it. Boom. You could have kickstarted that what if for me, and gave me the backstory with the Loki shit. And that's what I would like to see. I'm just tired to see the Avengers wiped out for no reason. Hey, yeah. So look, let's get into the real talk here. What does Ultron mean? Ultron Vision. Are we calling him Vision? I think we'll call him Vision. Well, we'll call him Ultron. This Ultron got Vision's body, and bruh, if this dude don't look like a god tier, like he make Thanos look like a baby, bruh. Like, bruh, when he came out of there looking like this, I'm like, damn, ain't no way we gonna beat him. Yo, this Ultron made me almost kind of crap my pants, bro. I'm not gonna lie. This Ultron looks scary. All 6 Infinity Stones, powering this man up. Now, this desert scene. I don't know if you guys remember yesterday when I was talking about it, but in the Hyundai trailer, like in the Hyundai promotional stuff, there was a huge fight scene between the Ultrons on the desert, on Earth, in the desert, and like it was more than Thor there. What's his name was intervening, and Watu he was intervening. Like shit was going down against these Ultrons. That's all. We didn't have much time left, so I was like, damn. But things could be going down with these Ultrons here. It is stronger than Thanos. Yeah, bruh. Like, that shit knocked things out of the water. Hey, man, and the little one is doing good. The little one is absolutely doing great. We were actually watching Visions together before this episode. He was actually looking at the TV, even though he can't see shit. But yeah, it's the ultimate threat Ultron, right? You're like, to me, there's nothing you can do about it. But here, this is where it gets interesting. Because if you think about the color of what this portal is that they're coming through, right? It kind of reminds me of when you go from the space, if you're using the space stone to go anywhere in time and space. Using the space stone, That's cool, and that's what it kind of reminds me of. Except it's gold or yellow. Now I know that the temp pads they were kind of yellowish, orangish color, but to me this could signal that they're coming from a different multiverse because I don't think Ultron comes up on this world, comes up in this world with this power and nobody know about it. You know what I mean? Like that would have to be more of a focus. That's where Shield is. They're not doing this. Shield is over there working on that with them. Like this Ultron comes from a completely different universe. You guys agree? You guys agree? I think this Ultron comes from a completely different universe here because he's accomplished. He's got all the Infinity Stones. Like he's supposed to. He's not obviously to me built in this world. Like I said, if something like this was going down, what did you say, Nikki? Nikki, Nikki, Nikki? You were right. You just come in here to ask me that. Did you come in here and just ask me what did you say? Yeah, they really dumb my man's down. Nikki, Nikki, I apologize. You're so right. You are so right, Nikki, Nikki. The collision of different timelines could be the. I don't think it's a collision of different timelines, Darth Chaos. I think that it's Ultron being a super genius computer with all six Infinity Stones being able to make portals into different universes. And this is where things can start going down. Now, my only caveat to that is like we have seen some shots of what would be follow ups to some of these cliffhangers that we've gotten. It's like the cliffhanger that we've gotten with the Killmonger episode, where Pepper is with Shuri and they're blowing through a wall with the Dora Milaje. That we still have to see that. I believe I saw a quick post credit scene, well, quick like scene with Ego, Ego and Peter Quill looked like that whole like light shit was happening. So we still got a lot of shit to get to. Thor Thor was a complete joke. Nikki Nikki, if you missed it, I'd give this episode a 5.5. Thor was a complete joke, Nikki Nikki. And you can't deny that. You can't use the stone to establish that only Chavez can. But I get it. But to me, it's the MCU. Between that and then Ultron being Ultron, like I couldn't put nothing past it that he's found a way to go from multiverse to multiverse. And I can't think of another explanation as to why he's like coming up and popping up right there. Unless he used the quantum realm, which is connected to the multiverse. It's an incursion. I don't, man. This is the thing. I don't think. Maybe it is. You know, it could be an incursion. I can't rule that out. But I just think it's a bit too early for incursions, right? I don't know. I just feel like it's a bit too early for incursions. But I definitely think it's time hopping. Or maybe this could be the first and only incursion, right? For a while. So that can make it work. But yeah, like I said, it sucks because I don't want to be talking down on this episode, but I don't have a lot to talk about with this episode. I really don't. If anything, it just again has me looking forward to when this stuff actually meets the road and when this stuff actually comes together. Yeah, if timelines merge. That's what I'm thinking. Like it could be maybe that instance of an incursion, if you will, but maybe he's using an incursion. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows? But I think from that moment, Thor's world is gonna get decimated. Yeah, you can't rule it out, but I think it's too early. But then watch it be an incursion next week. Watch it be an incursion next week. Yeah, let's go ahead and get out here to the final round. I think they picked this episode to come out this week because the Visions came out this week, and they knew everybody would be focused on that. That's solid. That's solid. Look, this is going to be a Kindle disappointed stream. I must say, let me ask y'all. All right, let me end this poll. I'm gonna ask y'all this question about visions. While I'm pulling up this question, just a couple of show notes. Um, Again, we're moving the streams. It'll probably just be Tuesday nights and Wednesday night streams, and then your boy's gonna be making videos on the grind of 250 subs. So when we get to a certain point, I definitely probably bring the streams back and like be more 3 days a week, and then probably do like one video a week or something like that, or two videos a week. But just to be real, we're getting the equipment in. So from what I know, the monitor is supposed to be in tomorrow for my PC. So if anything, I might do just like a stream, like an impromptu stream on Friday if I got time, or Saturday to test it out, and just chat it up, and maybe I'll have a good time with some of you folks in there on Saturday or Friday. Just hit the notification bell because I will be doing a test stream. I might play a little games too. You know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty strong gaming computer, so I might try a couple of games, Have the games popping. All right, so let me. What's the damn question? Did you or are you enjoying Visions? Did you or are you enjoying Visions? My answer is like, it's cool, but really, episode two, like, completely lost me. Episode two, I could not get with it all. Oh, everything's going dope, man. Appreciate it, Darth Chaos. Everything's going good, man. You enjoying Visions? It's cool. I'm like, maybe I need to go ahead and start just watching in Japanese tonight. I made the mistake because your boy was busy today. So like I was watching it in English, and I normally watch animes in Japanese. So maybe I should like wait to go all the way in on it. But I can tell you off rip, no matter what language episode two is, I ain't banging with it. Like episode two was so trash to me that I stopped watching it. I was gonna watch it like until I got tired of watching it. I was gonna watch it until I had to do something else. But episode two, bruh, it made me stop watching. But I will say though, I really, really loved episode one. Episode four was lit, bruh. Episode four did it for me. No, I'm sorry, episode three. Episode three did it for me. So like I'm enjoying it. I'm on episode four too right now, Wayne. So at this point, I'll probably go back and watch episode three in Japanese. Like I love just watching it in that different language. You haven't watched Visions? It's okay. Which one was episode three? Episode three was the twins. That was episode three. Man, that's some good H2 Aqua. Nah, the twins was episode three. But nah, it's pretty good. Like episode two, if you're watching it and you're not really going, if you're not really high on Visions, if you don't want to, I feel like I wasted my time with episode two. Tatooine Rhapsody was funny. Man, I just couldn't get with it. It felt like one of those filler episodes on the Avatar. That's what it felt like. Two was like a six for me. Yeah, two was ass. Two was ass. But I really enjoyed one, and I really enjoyed three. It's just that bitter taste of two, man. I like the act. I liked how the twins episode looked, bro. I like the twins episode, but it's crazy because that episode two, it hit me so hard in the mouth that like I'm not sure how I'm feeling about the rest of the series, bro. Like that's how much I kind of disliked episode two, bro. That's how much I kind of disliked episode two. Just didn't do it to me. Just didn't do it for me. But you know, everybody got their taste. It was great to hear Morrison back. Yeah, man. You know, he was already around the way for Book of Boba. So you know. So look, let's see here. You know, I hang around in chat. We're gonna have a shorter stream tonight. Your boy only got 3 hours of sleep last night, so it's gonna be a little bit of a shorter stream. And I know we've had a long day of nerdydom. Uh, so let's get it. Trinity. I appreciate your tweet. I appreciate your tweet, Trinity. I went to Twitter. I haven't actually even had time to go through and catch up on the news. Oh damn, Melvin Van Peebles died, bro. Peebles? That's crazy. Pebbles. That's crazy. So let's look here. I'm just scrolling to see if okay. All right, cool. Let me touch on this Daredevil article here. You know, your boy's just scrolling looking for stuff to talk about because if I will say I was a bit unprepared for the stream. And any news y'all want to talk about, like throw a question at me. I haven't answered a good question in a while. Somebody throw a good question at me, and let me see how I do with it. Throw me a good question about it. You know, whether it's Spider Man, whether it's the Wanda, you know, multiverse of madness stuff. Throw me a good question. Throw me a bone, and I'll bite it. Pause. Pause. But until then, I'm not gonna wait for you. I'm gonna pull up this article about the direct. Damn, I'm really rusty. I apologize, guys. Um, the PC will make this so much. Hopefully, make this so much easier because every time I do something, my computer just goes really slow. All right, so this comes from the direct, and it's about Daredevil. Charlie Cox explains why he wants John Berthal's Punisher back in the MCU. All right. Now, rumors of Charlie Cox returning. There are also rumors of those that Vincent D'Onofrio's arrival in Kingpin and Hawkeye. With those loud whispers in play, talk has grown to include all the other big former Netflix actors. Who else could surface? John Bernthal recently talked about the possibility of a return, something he'd be all for if it does ever happen. But what does his rival Matt Murdock think about it? In conversation with Forbes, the topic of John Bernthal's Punisher came up, to which the former Daredevil actor Charlie Cox was quick to exclaim, he's tremendous, isn't he?" This is quote Charlie Cox. Let me take this. I got this gum in my mouth. Sorry. I just realized, like, why am I struggling? He says, he's tremendous, isn't he? Look, as soon as someone like John is cast, it's exciting and it's nerve wracking at the same time. And you know that you've got to bring your A game, Cox said to Bernthal. But also, my experience with actors that good is it usually makes it easier for the other actor because it brings it out of you. It forces you to be spontaneous and free of self conscious. Of course, the question was about Bernthal The next question was about Bernthal possibly coming back to play Punisher in the MCU. Cox acknowledged that he was rooting for Bernthal's return while emphasizing that he's a little careful with what he says now. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know what the politics are. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I don't know any of that stuff. I don't know what the rules are. The deal that Netflix made, whatever I say, it can be taken out of context, and it could be a headline that can mean something. So I'm just going to be a little careful with what I say now. And look at you. You made the headline. You made the headline, Charlie Cox. You might as well just said it. You might as well just say what you wanted to say. The actor was sure. I just said one thing. He said, but the only thing I will say is that I don't know who could do a better version of the Punisher than John Bernthal, and that the character is beloved and people are crazy for Frank Castle. If they're ever going to do it again, I hope they do it with him because I don't think it gets better than that. All right, I'm not going to read the Kristen Ritter shit. We're cool here. Look, that gets me excited. I mean, come on. My betting money is that he is going to be either in Hawkeye or he is going to be in the. Um, I'm blinking. He's either going to be in Hawkeye or he's going to be in No Way Home. And if he's in neither of those two, I would definitely put my money that he's going to be in She-Hulk. All right. If not, then I'm definitely getting boner. It's water wet. Water's wet. Water's wet, but there's a few things wetter than water. Gotta be a little bit more swatter. I know I'm playing. And bear with me. I just looked in the mirror and looked in the camera. This is all I really have like presentable to wear today because it's laundry day, and I haven't done laundry. So your boy is wearing a zip up sweater vest with nothing on under it. It's one of the things I wear around the house when I try to look sexy for the missus. Let the arms out, you know. Then I might unzip it down here, you know what I mean? But that's all I had. So I said I'm just gonna zip it all the way up. So I apologize. But where was I? Anyway, what I was saying, I would like to see Bernthal's Punisher back. I guess. I mean, it's cool, but I'm pretty sure they could find a. I'm pretty sure they could find somebody else that could play Bernthal's, like they could play the Punisher better than Bernthal. Like just to keep it 100. Let's get some jack. Like let's get an extremely jacked Punisher. I mean, like huge dude looking like I want Punisher to look a little bit like Luther, huge from the Umbrella Academy. Not dumb like Luther looks, but huge. So I mean, I think there's a couple of people out there that could take Bernthal's place. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's just a little article to pass the time. While some of these questions got in. While watching, he says, while watching the first few episodes, I kept thinking about canon and stuff like that. I wasn't letting myself have fun with the show, so I started watching it. Then I rewatched with an empty head. Yeah, that makes sense too. And I think the reason why I enjoyed the first episode so much was like that. But then the second episode, and they had Boba in it and all that stuff, like, and I thought that it was gonna be more congruency with these stories. Like I thought it's like the way it felt like it was advertised. It felt like these stories were gonna be like a series. I know I'm probably off because it's like different. I knew at coming in that different studios were doing each episode, but at the same time, I was kind of like forgetting that because I hadn't really been paying that much attention to Star Wars news. Um, everything's been busy on this end, so it makes sense. Maybe I should go back and start watching it over again and watching it with a fresh mind. That's dope. Wayne says, "Are they going to make a soundtrack for the Star Wars Vision show? I definitely want those rock songs from Tattoo Rhapsody, Tatooine Rhapsody. Yeah, I would definitely like to hear those songs again. I think they definitely should make one of those because it's been a dope soundtrack so much. If you could direct and write a Marvel movie, what character would you choose and why?" Man, Jared, Mr. Ratcatcher 2. I love that question. You got me thinking hard here. I want to say Black Panther because I would love, I would love to just have my vision for Black Panther come true. If how they're gonna do this whole T'Challa thing, I would love to write Black Panther. But you guys have heard my theory on that. Like, you guys have heard my theory on that, so I'll let that stay to the side. But I would like to maybe do a Hulk film. Give me a Hulk film. Give me a Hulk film. And I'm I'm thinking like World War Hulk. Like, give me that film. Let me do a Hulk film. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'd probably be ass at it. I'll probably be ass at the Hulk film because that's a hard ass film to do. It's a Hulk. I can't even lie. That's a hard thing to make it dope. It doesn't have to tie to the MCU, by the way, but it'd be what I tied to the MCU. Like it kind of had to tie to the MCU for me. You were right. You would do Conan. That's dope. That's dope. That's funny. I mean, I would like to do Flash. If there's anybody that I would do, I would like to do Flash. Flash. Man, that's a good and hard question. But I honestly have to go. Like my most thoughts is probably Black Panther though. Like, might make Black Panther like that. Like, bruh, I think I could say. I think I could. I think my theory. Like, I think what I have in my mind is, of course, I enjoy it because it's in my mind. But I think it's the best idea to make this T'Challa stuff go smoother, and that is let Shuri get to be Black Panther. After Black Panther 2, I want to do the sequel to Black Panther 2. That's what I want to do. I want to do Black Panther 3, where we start seeing multiversal T'Challa being cast as Damson Idris, being in the Illuminati. At the same time, his world has been destroyed. So he's now in Wakanda. He is a Black Panther. The Black Panthers recognize him. Like, I mean, the Wakandans recognize him. Uh, but he let Shuri keep the crown because that's her Wakanda. At the same time, this T'Challa gets brought into the Illuminati and he handles the world shit. And he is also more of a protector. He's like one of the better fighters for Wakanda as well. But he is like, it's kind of like it is in the comic books. Like it's kind of like it is in the comic book runs. He he's an Illuminati. He's not connected to this Wakanda, and he's able to work with Shuri, talk with Shuri. They have a relationship, but it's still Shuri's show. Like, it's still her Wakanda. But at the same time, like, yo, then we can get my man's like fratting it up with Storm. You know what I mean? Like, we can get T'Challa actually being in his full grace and glory. So that's the movie I would direct. Is Black Panther 3. Give me Black Panther 3. Like, how crazy it could be. I really like for real the proposition that the Ta-Nehisi Coates run brings into uh Black Panther. Like, they're going through this whole thing. Like, after they've been ravaged by Namor, after all of this stuff, they have conflict on the earth, like have conflict on their nation because the nation doesn't believe it should be ruled by a king anymore. They believe it should be more of a democracy. At the same time, that leads to a revolt and an uprising, and I would like to see that. Like, I would like to see that played out, and I think it's a lot of stuff that's been going on that can come into play there. But at the same time, give me a Namor war. I want a war in Namor, like a Doom war. Give me that, and let me direct Doom war with a multiversal T'Challa. Yep. Yep. That's it. Thank you for that question. I had fun with that one. Paper or plastic? Plastic. Is water wet? It's wet. Let's get Arnold Schwarzenegger to play Old Man Punisher. That'd be hilarious. Clint Eastwood to play Old Man Logan. Robert Downey Jr. to play Old Man. Stop. Never mind. I'm weak. My girlfriend calls me the Flash. Oh, man. Because you're too quick with it, ain't you? Trigger man. feel like the darker stuff would be fun to write and direct. Yeah, I think I'm more action, like action and drama. Cause like when I'm sitting there, I definitely can't do a comedy, bruh. I was telling my wife, comedy, comedy, bruh. That's just no joke. Like to make somebody laugh. Damn, I bet you guys can't hear the music. Damn, I did it again. You probably still can't hear the music. Don't fret. Damn, you still can't hear the music. Ah, that's right. You guys won't hear music this whole time. Look, all right. Here's the thing. There's always music playing. So if you cannot hear the music, let me know. There's always music playing. But that's my fault. I had to rat a rated R Rat Catcher 2 movie. And Dark Chaos says I'd watch. Oh, rated R won't be that bad. If it was rated MA, then you in for another one. I buy a ticket right now, says Daniel Fisher. I'm weak at y'all. It'll end up being mature and on pay per view, right? Fuck it, it's going straight to OnlyFans. It's going straight to OnlyFans. What else? I would direct a Monica Rambeau movie or series. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some other dope shit I could do. But my comic knowledge ain't good. Now I would love to do a Walking Dead episode. I would love to do a Walking Dead episode. Like, especially in like the just getting to Alexandria era. Like to me, there's a lot of stuff they could have done with Alexandria and that whole stuff there. If they weren't tied down to the comics. But I would have loved to have gotten in like a massive threat episode. Maybe even a Negan episode too. Yeah, yeah. Look, like I said, shorter stream tonight. I gotta get up with the family, and your boy's been up since 3 o'clock this morning. If you can't tell, so like I said, shorter stream tonight. We're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. I want to thank everybody that was stopping by tonight and hanging out with me. Thanks for stopping in and showing love. Like I said, be on the lookout. We could be doing a extra stream tomorrow, but we'll definitely be dropping a video maybe this Friday or Saturday. We could be doing an extra stream later this week too, this weekend, just to test out the PC, make sure everything's running good. Could possibly try to bring in a guest as well, just to like hang out. It'll probably be a shorter stream. But other than that, again, the stream schedule is going from the 3 days a week here. We're going to be doing just Tuesdays and Wednesdays for now. Like I said, and again, the child, like, you gotta understand, the family stuff gets in the way too. I want to go ahead and get adjusted to that schedule before I go back to work. So that's where that comes into play. And then, like I said, maybe in like 6 months or so, we'll get back to our 3 nights a week. You know what I mean? When the baby's able to do more stuff. Like I said, for real, I want to do a Spider-Man or Nightwing movie. Spider-Man movie would be influenced by Spider Allen and Shang-Chi teaching Peter the way of the spider. I love that, bro. Thanks for checking through in 3 hours. That was me yesterday. I passed out before you streamed. Look, I passed out before the stream tonight. I was falling asleep making a thumbnail with my son in my lap. I don't know. This little man was pooping every time he ate last night. So that means I was up. And I do this thing where like I go to bed like 2 o'clock. I call myself helping out my wife, but I'm just downstairs playing 2K. And when I say helping out my wife, I just take the baby downstairs with me and watch him downstairs. But then that backfires. But it is what it is. I got another week off work. So I'm gonna have some fun for like 5 more days. But anyway, I'll get on out of here. Like I said, go watch something nerdy. Go watch something MCU, Star Wars, or DC. Share with a friend, make them a normie, and bring them here. We'll turn them into nerds. I am your normie sensei, Master Cunts with Normies Nerds. I will catch you guys on the next